right? Because people say work smart, not hard. Only works when you compete against dumb people. Like, my competition is smart and they're also working hard. And so we both have to work hard. Someone gets to a few $1 million a year and they're like, that's it. I made it. So much juice left to squeeze, right? But then it's like, well, the thing is that the juice that comes out is your output, and the thing that's being squeezed is you.
Personal observation. You get absolutely better returns at the top ends of achievement because oftentimes assets pool to the winners. The problem is, to achieve the highest levels, you have to give up proportional amounts of the things you hoped the achievements would get you. There comes a time when the hard work you have to do is learning that you can't work any harder any longer, and that you have to change what got you here to what will get you to where you want to go. You can work to get anything you want, but you have to sacrifice the other things you want to keep it. And that's sometimes harder than the work.
Yeah, 2025.
In the day.
The hard remains the same. Actually, so I've given this a huge amount of thought. So, like, what makes something hard? Like, just in and of itself, like, what actually makes something hard? And so if we think about this as an aversive stimulus or a negative stimulus, then you have, because habituation happens on both sides. And this is what I think is so fascinating, because it's like, okay, well, I wanted this big thing to happen. I wanted the Rolls Royce. I wanted the Ferrari, whatever, saved my whole life. And here I am, right? And I was happy for a week. And then all of a sudden I got used to it, right? So I was like, why can't I habituate to the suck? Right? Why can't I habituate to the suck? And the thing is that you do. The only thing is that what makes the suck keep sucking is what makes punishment effective, which is increasing intensity and variety. And so if you want to effectively punish someone, you can't just keep punishing them the same way. You have to increase intensity and change how you do it. And the beautiful thing is that life doesn't fight fair. And so life will change the intensity and will give you more variety. How many times have you been like, I didn't know life could suck in this way? Like, this is a new one. Wow. Like, you spin the roulette of life and you're like, oh, here's another one that sucks.
My was kicked from another angle.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Had no idea. And so in thinking about that, it was like, okay, I think the reason that the hard persists is because the nature of the currency that you pay or that you exchange for the thing that you want changes. Because in the very beginning, you basically have to conquer your friends and family who tell you that this might be a bad idea. Okay, fine. You get over that. And then you have to conquer yourself in the most basic level of I have to do something. Okay, so you start taking action, you start learning how to learn stuff, which is learning through failure and learning through. So you start doing that and you realize you're not going to die if you fail. Okay, then after that, then it's like, okay, but then now you have this dramatic skill deficiency, right? So you have to very quickly level up in a ton of different things in whatever domain you're in, right? And then that has many failure loops that have we habituated to failure? No, it's too generalized. So the failures that occur are specific, and so it's just like, oh, I didn't know I could fail in this way, right? Like, we had an event. So we hold an event at our headquarters monthly, and when people come out, I remember it was 3 times in a row there was this thing at the front desk that got messed up, and I was like, how? It was the can thing. I was like, how? How? Right? And I swear to God, I got the message back, and they said, well, the system messed up in a different way this time. And I was like,
same issue, new route.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it happened 3 times in total. And so it was the same problem, 3 complete. They're like, well, we fixed that version of the problem, but then this one came up. And so it's like, it still sucked. And so the thing is that I think failure is, our habituation to failure is so narrow that every new type of failure, all 3 of those hurt.
Micro novelty.
Yes. And so when I think about that, it's like like I said, this year financially has been the best year of my life, right? And so that's been awesome. But I've had all of these. I mean, I've had health stuff. Layla had health stuff that was separate. We had legal things, which is another whole thing. Because
business stuff, book stuff.
Yeah, there's the book stuff, and then there's
staffing stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. And so all of those things happened, and I was like, so it's just that the currency has changed. The currency that I'm paying. And so I'm very happy to pay the long hours currency. I'm very happy to pay the what am I willing to give up in terms of social life. Like that, to me, I've habituated to that price. That's not hard for me. I don't even consider it a sacrifice anymore, which is, I think, what you want, because people, people will sometimes maybe see you, or maybe they'll see me and think of like the Goggins, work until your eyes bleed. The thing is that like, and maybe I don't know Goggins, but I'll just speak for myself. I don't really push that hard. Like I don't really push. I do it, and I've already habituated to this. Like this is not an excess for
pushed
me.
in the initial to get up to the momentum.
Get to here.
And now,
and I like we worked. So I had my whole team in a boardroom. At the very beginning, you saw my timer. So I have a timer that's on my phone. It has like 22 and a half hours on it. And so what I've been doing is I've been challenging the team they wanted to do a 12-week project. And I said, hey, can we do it in 7 days? Right. And not only are we going to do it in 7 days, we're going to actually see how many actual hours does it take of us working together to get this done. And my hope is that we get the whole thing done in under 50 hours with 8 guys. And so I'm like, okay, so we can shrink what was once going to be 3 months into this period of time. And so over the last 2 days, we just did this, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow, is that everyone was starting to work at 7 and continued, didn't really leave the boardroom except for like to use the restroom until about 9 o'clock at night. And so you're talking 12, 14 hour days, but like on the whole time. And the thing is, and this is what's crazy. Every single guy who was in that room texted me afterwards, was like, that was awesome. Like, I wish we could work like this all the time. And so like, I don't think like we talk about work and what makes work hard and all of these things, but like, most of the things, once you learn how to work, the work itself is self-reinforcing and you enjoy it. It's everything else that you didn't know you were going to have to sacrifice so that you could get back to working. And so that's where I've had to really consider this Bulgarian method approach. So we talked about a powerlifter, a friend of yours, who like he went to go train with the best coach of all time. And so there's the Bulgarian system, which is the same thing in Bulgaria. This tiny little nation disproportionately outcompetes in Olympic lifting. And the way that they do it is they have a system which basically just breaks everyone who does it, except for the one person who can sustain it, and he becomes champion. And so I actually see business, unfortunately or fortunately, very similar in a lot of ways, which is that the path, the science of achievement is fairly straightforward, right? Like you have to pursue high leverage opportunities, and that is the working smart. And then if everyone is working smart, then the only thing left that you have to compete is working hard, right? Because people say work smart, not hard. Only works when you compete against dumb people. Like my competition is smart and they're also working hard. And so we both have to work hard. And so that price though has been something that I've been staring at for myself, because I've never had the aspiration of being number one. For at least for me, it's not in my DNA. I haven't had that desire to be the richest man in the world. Not something I care about. And so then it's getting into, okay, what's the sweet spot that maximizes enough where I can actually start looking at some of these other preferences that I have and say, you know what? I am no longer willing to make that trade. And the other part of me, we talked about lame earlier, like, the coffee, made your week to the same degree. Like this is enough for you? Yeah. And I've actually had a very, I would say disdainful almost take when I would hear somebody who, take this, fine, I'll just take this, whatever you want. Someone gets to a few $1 million a year and they're like, that's it. I made it. And I have to fight against this. This is what I'm working on. I see that and I'm like, out of the game. Like he's out. Yeah. Done. Like
quit too soon.
Yeah. Like there's so much juice left to squeeze. Right. But then it's like, well, the thing is that the juice that comes out is your output, and the thing that's being squeezed is you. And so that's what I've been thinking a lot about.
Well, look at that person.
Yeah.
Who gets to however much a year.
Yeah.
50 grand, 100 grand, $1 million, 2 million, 10 million. And they go, that's enough.
Yeah.
Who won?
Yeah.
Because that person finished their race way before you.
Yeah.
Way before you. You're the retard that's still running.
Let me tell you this story. So my first gym ever, I had my first manager who worked there. And he was a trainer. He was awesome. Best trainer I ever had. And I promoted him to manager. And with that pay raise, he went from something in the neighborhood of like $25,000 a year as a trainer, paid by session, to getting a salary of like $45,000 a year, which for me was a ton of money at the time when I was paying somebody else, right? And he did it for 6 months, crushed it, did an amazing job. And he said, hey man, can I talk to you after work today? And I was like, yeah, sure, man. What's up? You're doing great, whatever. He says, hey, I don't want to be manager anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? You're quitting? He's like, no. I just want to be a trainer. And I was like, but you realize your pay would get cut in half. Like that doesn't really make sense. And he just looked at me, and I remember this to this day. He looked at me, he's like, I'll just be poor then. And it was like a bomb detonated. I was like, and I looked at it, and I was literally speechless. Then I just said, I respect it, but I will never understand it. And the thing is that he is, to this day, I got to see him 3 weeks ago, first time in like 10 years. He was then the happiest person I've ever met. And today, or when I just saw him, just as happy. And he's like, dude, can you believe that we were starting that gym and you were at the floor? And we were recounting some of those old stories. He's like, look what you have, man, all this stuff. And I was like, dude, you won. Like, I'm still trying to catch up to you. And that was a lot of the conversation that we had.